with the run game. So really, what you could try to defend it all, but it's not easy to do. And I think that's what makes our offensive line so successful right now, is because people really don't really know what's coming. You can run up the field and get trapped, but you think you're going to rush the passer. So it's been a great compliment for us, and it's taken 4 years to really get a real running game where people have to respect it.
What was your reaction when you learned that Greenwich was upset last week by Southington? And are there any other big surprises in the FCAC right now that everyone might not be aware of?
Well, I think this, I think it's...
So we're on
Alliance games, I mean, things are
10 TCTV and the
crazy
920,
right
the New York
saw
station
in the top 10, 7 teams got first place vote, or 8 teams got first place votes. So I think, was I shocked at that score? Absolutely. In watching the film and talking to some Greenwich guys,
national anthem first?
I think Southington is a really good football team. And for whatever reason, things were going right for Greenwich, and they all kind of fell apart. The week before, things were going right against Greenwich by Richfield.
I don't know.
And then they all fell apart.
But they're over there too.
I think in this era of spread offense and throwing the ball and all that other stuff, I think it's very difficult. 21-point lead is not safe. Where in the past, if you led by 21 points, the game was over. Game is not over anymore, and we actually proved that against Massac ourselves.
So when we come out of the pregame show,
yes, I was.
I'm not even going to talk.
A little
I'll just
surprised,
let the national anthem go,
especially when I heard
and then I'll hit the music again, and we'll do our intro.
Anything can happen in this league, and here's what happened last year. Don't forget this now. Shelton blew out Greenwich, and then Greenwich came here, and then we got blown out after we had already beat Shelton. So these are 17-year-old kids. Anything can happen at any time, Jeff.
So after tonight's game, we got Stanford on the horizon in 2 weeks heading into the bye.
Yeah.
What's your week look like heading into a bye, knowing you got that extra week of prep?
Yeah, I think we're going to give the kids a little bit of time off, not much. We want to stay on course and watch film and just get ready to go for the second half of the season.
We'll see.
Maybe these kids can heal up a little bit.
The national anthem.
Nicks and cuts and bruises that they have. So it's a good thing for us, and we'll just have at it again. We're just going to do what we do.
All right, thanks so much, Coach. I know the kickoff is moments away. Right, you got to finish getting ready for kickoff. We'll see you in 2 weeks before facing Stanford.
All right, thanks, Jeff.
Thank you. Good luck tonight.
X's and Petracios
I'm going to
is
come in,
presented
and
by
then I'll
Matt
just say
Newsy,
national
the local
anthem
real
time.
estate expert and #1 RE/MAX realtor in Connecticut. Contact Matt anytime at 203-642-0341. Again, that's 203-642-0341.
Never mind.
This is Ken, the Trumbull Eagles Network.
And Malik Reed takes the ball. He's breaking out for the race. He's going to have touchdown. That's going to be a touchdown. All right.
And the backfield off to his left hip. Takes the snap. Slam out. Caught over the middle. Touchdown, Trumbull.
This is Trumbull Eagles football on 10. This is Ken, the Trumbull Eagles Network.
And Malik Reed takes the ball. He's breaking out for the race. He's going to have touchdown. That's going to be a touchdown. All right.
And the backfield off to his left hip. Takes the snap. Slam out. Caught over the middle. Touchdown, Trumbull.
This is Trumbull Eagles football on 10.
this is one of the games that we've been looking forward to. We've had circled on our calendar pretty much since week 1 of last year. Coming 3-0, Staples 2-1, but we all know Staples, like we said to the coach earlier, they always have a seat at the big boys table. This is one of the powerhouse teams we want to beat, especially after what happened last year.
Absolutely, Jeff. Revenge is in the air, if you want to say that. Last year, I know Staples went a heartbreaker against Trumbull. They decided to rally in the end of the fourth quarter there. Trumbull almost able to pull it off, but Staples able to hang on and defeat Trumbull and kind of gave them the one loss that they couldn't have when they missed the playoffs. You're absolutely right here, Jeff. So Staples is a premier FCF program. Eight to the split market to the left. They've been very successful. This year, sitting at 2-1, just outside the playoff standings here for Class AA, looking in at the 9 seed. Trumbull right now holding 3-0. Big win for them. Trumbull historically the past decade or so has had difficulty beating these top FCF programs. They caught a win against St. Joe's about 2017, I believe, and then since then it's been really inconsistent. I know Shelton they beat last year, but again, as far as FCF opponents go, it's a tough one. So tonight's gonna be big for them if they want to really prove that this year they're ready to make their case for being one of the top teams in the state.
Yeah, absolutely. So the big win against Massac. Last 2 contests were a little bit one-sided, so back to what should be a very competitive, good game tonight. The teams, we just had the national anthem. You heard that, some of the Trumbull High students singing the national anthem beautifully for us. The captains have already been out onto the field, done the coin toss. Sawyer, we were talking. I didn't see who won the coin toss. I don't know if you noticed. Yeah, it was brutal missing that game last week. I'm very happy to be back. I kept joking with friends over the last week when I was home, saying that episode of Friends when Joey kept saying, Joey doesn't share food. Well, Jeffrey doesn't miss Trumbull football games too often. This is my 20th year with the Trumbull football team, and this is maybe the 3rd or 4th game. Last week was maybe the 3rd or 4th game that I missed. So I am happier than anyone else in the stadium to be back tonight.
Breaks a tackle, breaks another. He's still on his feet, but he is eventually dragged down and near sideline about the 23-yard line. So Trumbull's offense gets set to take the field. We'll see Hunter Gus go to work.
Yeah, he went from the far hashes all the way to the close sideline and only picked up a handful of yards. He went way further east-west than he did north-south, but that's okay. We know Trumbull's got a potent offense. They can pick up those yards. And we've said 100 times already this season, we love it when he gets those 15, 20-yard runs, but if he picks up 3 yards on a run, that's his job. That's what he needs. We need him to do.
That's something that Trumbull's had difficulty with over the last 2 years. 15 yards on first
Some good blocking on that last play that allowed him to pick up those couple yards. Otherwise, he would have been short by a little bit.
Offside penalty against the Rutgers. Reserve the penalty. Touchdown.
Staples brought a linebacker in for the blitz. The line picked it up, but I don't know if that blitz threw Hunter off because the throw is definitely behind the receiver, and they just couldn't adjust to make the play happen. So it's going to be 3rd and 9 for the Eagles. We are just under 10 minutes remaining here in the opening quarter. Yeah, he had Ben Carley wide open at about the 45-yard line on the Staples side of the field. And I don't know if he just put too much oomph on that ball and it just skipped off of Ben's fingers. But that would have been good for about 15 yards, 20 yards, and he might have even taken it any further from there. He's the new Mr. Do-It-All.
A little bit, yeah. He played an excellent game last week. So ball for Nash. Snap is down. It's hole high, and Zazo can't pick it up. He decides to run with it and fumbles the ball, and Staples grabs it. Look at excellent starting field position here on the Trumbull 20-yard line.
And the fact that he fumbled it really didn't make much of a difference because it was going to be Staples' ball anyway. But now you, instead of just punting the ball, now you're giving Staples about 30 yards to go for a touchdown. So big mistake on that opening drive for Trumbull. Let's hope the defense can step up and save them. Yeah, he went right up the middle. That was a planned quarterback draw. And the Trumbull defenders were right there to bring him down before he picked up much at all.
Second down and 7.
Again up the middle, and again he's tackled, but he drives his legs, and someone else going to tackle
a quarterback run right up the middle and picked up a good chunk of yards. They need to shut down that gap right in the middle there.
zone, and he's in for a touchdown for Staples. So Staples strikes first. With 8:28 left to go in the first quarter. 6-0 Staples. We're going to do the same play here, Jeff. QB draw, QB draw, QB draw. And after the block or the fumbled snap on the punt, Staples strikes first with 6-0.
Surprising to see that from Staples, because we know over the years that's a team with a pretty potent offense. Maybe just trying to throw him off guard, who knows? But I'm sure Coach McCray will pick up on that on the next set of downs. That was a heck of a kick. Staples over the years has had some really good kickers, and clearly they have another one now.
Jeff, as Trumble's offense gets into the field, who would you like to see get a little more involved there? I know we have Rowan Johnson in a few times, maybe probably from Trump, but any ideas?
I like watching Antonio Luca trying to catch the ball, because I think if it's almost like an NFL type of strategy, they know if you put the ball up high and away where only he can get it, he's got the ability to jump and grab it where the defender might not be able to get it. So maybe some of that, and keep throwing at Ben. We know that if you keep throwing at Ben Carley, he's going to make something happen eventually. While we're waiting for the kickoff, we would like to thank our sponsor, American Family Care Urgent Care. The right choice, available in Bridgeport, Fairfield, Shelton, and Trumbull. Come and visit them at AFC Urgent Care for your health care needs, including COVID testing, vaccines, including flu shots, physicals, lacerations, and much more. All health care services you would get in an emergency room with AFC. Come visit AFC Urgent Care. Colin Van Beaver stepping in for Matt Inzatari, who got hurt a couple weeks ago.
Muffs the kick, drops it, and I don't know here, Jeff. Staples might have recovered it again. Love to see. Tough break for Trumbull on special teams. And Staples does. Muffed recovery there by Jaden Marty. And it's recovered by Staples. So again, Staples with a chance here to go up 2 scores. We're into the game on 2 special teams blunders.
I would not want to be near Coach Petrosio on the sideline at this moment. Coach McCray was over in the tent looking at some stuff with his players, and he just literally darted out and ran down the field knowing that he's got to get out and start calling plays. And I think they were on the toes for the running plays after that last quick drive that put him in the end zone. You do not want to go down 2 touchdowns this quickly in the first quarter. They keep running it right up that A-gap in the middle, but Jordan Black and some of the other defenders are now well aware of that strategy and are able to close that up.
Screen pass, it's caught, and he's tackled short. He's got a first down, though. O-line let the D-line in, and they were able to get the pass off.
So that's going to be a 1st and goal for the Wreckers. While we're waiting, I don't know the reason for it. You probably noticed it coming in as well, Sawyer. There's a cowboy theme among the Black Hole tonight. I'm not really sure what the reason is for it, but everyone in the Black Hole, all the Trumbull students are in cowboy gear tonight. It's got a cool look to it. I mean, a month away from Halloween, but it's just something different. I like it. Absolutely. No, it's no longer just very short yardage. Make them have to earn it a little bit more. Although they haven't, Trumbull's been handing it to them on a platter so far in these first couple drives.
As though he's able to get stopped
On the tail for the records, number 10,
short of the goal line.
Smith.
This will be second and goal now.
Stops at the line by the Eagles, number 85, William Zaslow. Second down and goal to go for the records.
Short of the goal line. So nice job by him. Second, he's a bit of a utility knife here. Does special teams, does defense, and he made a great job there on defensive attack. So puts us at about the 7-yard line here. Gain about 3. Second and goal. 5:37 left. Stop that defense here. Ball is snapped. Handoff up the middle, and he slices his way through. Did he get in, Jeff? He's close. We got one saying he's short, one saying he's in. Let's see if they can beat. And it looks like it is a touchdown. The far official marked he was short near sideline, and then the ball judge both marked that he was in. So we touchdown over Staples. We're now 13-0.
Not the start the Eagles were wanting for tonight. We are almost 7 minutes into the opening quarter and about to be down 14-0.
Hi, this is Mike King, Director of Athletics for the Trumbull Public Schools, and you are listening to the Trumbull Eagles Network, number 10.
Rude Awakenings is Hillcrest Middle School's premier full-service breakfast provider. Try our gourmet coffees and teas or our delectable snacks. We've been the pick-me-up choice for Hillcrest since 2014. Pay with cash or open a charge account to enjoy our daily delicacies. Our baristas personalize every order and always provide service with a smile. You won't find better customer service anywhere. And best of all, we deliver. We come straight to your door to take your order and prepare your provisions right before your eyes. When you're at Hillcrest, let us do the cooking for you. There's always something for everyone at Rude Awakening.
So far, Staples with all the momentum up 13-0 as they get some to move off again. field, and with a nice return there down the 30-yard line. So nice job there for Colin Beaver. He's going to
All right, let's see Hunter Auguste get his second chance under center in this game. We need to see some of that magic to some of those amazing receivers or the amazing running back we have as well. We know this is a very potent offense. We need to see them get it revved up and going. Get back into this game.
Big series here for Trumbull. They got to get on the board.
First up at the 29-yard line, touchdown and 10 for the Eagles.
So two receivers on the far hash. Auguste rolls his right to the floor. Has time, fires out, finds Luca Antonio with a nice catch. And then
Look at this pass. It's complete to number 5, Luca
about 70. Nice first play here. Now you
Antonio.
second down to run the ball on capacity.
Hunter rolled out to his right and quick pass, wasn't waiting too much. He saw the receiver open that he wanted, put it right in his hands. So second and short coming up. I'm sure Coach Petrosio, Coach Moore, and Coach McCray had a few choice words for them after those first two drives. Absolutely. So it's going to be a second and very short again about, or they're giving him the first down. They're moving the chains. Trumbull hopefully making a statement here saying, we're good. We're not done yet. A little bit of a pinball move on that. He bounced off the first defender and is able to pick up a few more yards after that initial contact.
First down, had he made the catch. Johnson was ready, had the ball there, but was not. Three receivers to the far side, one to the knee. And we have a flag.
Penalty flag on the play.
Well, it was a false start. I didn't see anything. So they just went from third and short to third and long. So, yep.
Fires it deep, looking for Antonio. Just out of his reach, incomplete. Shoving, not enough for the flag. Do you go for it here, anything, or do you punt?
I don't know. You're right at midfield. You're down 2 scores. You have to be aggressive, but do you want to risk giving them the third drive in a row with a very short field? Yeah, no, I would definitely agree with that strategy.
Good tackle there by number 57 for Trumbull on the muff punt. That is Anthony Green.
He bobbled that a few times. He's lucky that he was able to pick that up. Zaslow's punt, he took a few extra seconds there before he got the punt off. Made me nervous that that might have been blocked.
Almost there was Con Van Beaver to get the muff punt, but there was still plenty of time left. 2:57 left in the first quarter. Trumbull had a chance to at least change the field position game here. 3 and out would be huge for them on defense and give a chance for the offense to get started, better starting field position going forward.
Offsetting penalties on the play. Remains Rutgers ball, first down and 10 from their own 20.
Staples taking their time right now in the huddle, figuring out what they want to do. There's 12 seconds on the play clock. They're still in a huddle. That was interesting. They took their sweet time getting that play off, but hey, as a Trumbull fan, if it pushes them back, we'll take it. So they're not moving the down marker back. Are they saying they got the timeout in before it went? Maybe the coach on the sideline called a timeout. I'm not sure. Yep, if you are listening on 10, 920 WON, watching on TCTV, if you go to TrumbleFootball.com, you'll see the schedule on the homepage. Click on Staples, and it'll bring up the live box score. The master of the multitasker, Sawyer Nicholas, does our live stats while he does his amazing play-by-play against Sawyer. I have no idea how you do both at the same time, but I'm glad you do. Desitels. That's one of the mouthful ones.
The sack, so second and 13 here. Big stop there for Trumbull's D-line to start. So that's CJ Basin. Ball snap. You can draw up the middle. And he's brought down again. There he is. That's CJ Basin up the middle again. Not being moved. Third down now. Third and long.
They change the roster on us every once in a while. We do our best to keep up with it, but it does change from time to time.
Third and 13, ball on the 17-yard line. Big third down here, stop for Trumbull if they can get it. Bruce here's the far side, one for the ball is snapped, quarterback rolls to his right. Looking to throw, under pressure, fires it. He has a man, and he breaks a tackle. Down the sideline, breaks another, and he chases out from behind. Huge break there for Staples. Tough for Trumbull there. Got to make a tackle on the field. They're unable to use the Trumbull secondary, and they'll get a first and 10 now in Trumbull territory.
Yeah, that was a golden opportunity to try to stop them having punted back to you with probably a little more than half a field to go, but they give up the big first down. Not Trumbull's quarter so far. What's the call? Hey.
And just like that, they're back in the game there, Jeff, on the fumble. We're going to credit. 11, number 11, Colin Woods with the recovery. So Johnson back in the ref. Big break there for Trumbull, and our defense is back in the game.
And that's generally in the area. They probably would have gotten the punt if they would have stopped them on the previous one. So evens out relatively well for the Eagles. Let's see if they can convert and finally get some points on the board. We got 59 seconds remaining in the first quarter. 13-0 Staples. Jeff Alterman and Sawyer Nicholas on the Trumbull Eagle Network, TCTV, and 920 WON The Apple.
So big drive for Trumbull. They really need to get the board. Three receivers on the near side, one to the park. Couple drops, a problem here so far tonight for Trumbull. Well, a snap handoff to Johnson. Looks for some space. Fires in the middle. Oh, and he had a hole there, Jeff. They just tripped him up at the line of scrimmage. Gained about 5 right time. If he didn't fall down, I think he would have been gone.
If that person didn't get that arm up to bring him down, yeah, he would have taken a big break on that one.
Regardless, the gain of 6 is so electric coming through the hole. Just the speed attacks. It's so difficult to bring him down or even to find him by the first level. So nice job there by Lauren Johnson picking up 6 on the first play. So second and ball, a long 4 yards, second 4 yards. Ball on the 44-yard line. Ball a snap, hand up to Johnson again. He's looking for some space, and he bulldozes his way forward. Close to a first down there.
I think he's over the line by a good yard or two. Let's see if the side judge just told the chain gang to move. I want
second, third down and snap rolls those right to throw. Has time, fires it. Whoa, very dangerous as the safety came up and made the play. Lucky break there from Trumbull. Ball ricocheted, wasn't intercepted.
I was going to say I want to see them get Ben Carley, the Bendozer, into the mix, and he was the intended target, and Trumbull's very lucky they didn't come away with an interception.
Ball intended for number 47, Ben Carley. And it's unfortunate. So I guess they got to settle down here a little bit. He's had a few issues so far tonight, and although one was a couple drops, and that one there was Johnson. He fires up the middle, has a hole, bulldozes again. He's got a first down there, Jeff. I tell you, he gets the ball. He makes something happen. First down here for Trumbull.
And right up the gut in the middle again. All right, and we'll take a quick break here. We'll be back in a few moments.
Hi, this is Chris Carbonera, the head coach of the freshman Trumbull Eagles, and you're listening to 10.
This is the story of a very special woman. Just a few knew about her superpowers. In a matter of seconds, she turned herself into a great mathematician. She masqueraded as a regular person at work, but as a superhero at home. Everyone knows her as Gabriella. I still call her Mom.
Your hero needs you now, and AARP is here to help. Find the care guides you need to help, complete with tips and resources at aarp.org/caregiving.
Protect her home and family in a disaster. Karen was willing to wade through water, mud, and insurance paperwork.
Yeah, I can do this.
You go, Karen! By simply understanding and updating what her insurance covers and doesn't cover now, she'll be better prepared no matter when disaster strikes. Learn other simple ways to protect your home and family before a natural disaster at ready.gov. That's ready.gov. A message from FEMA and the Ad Council.
Number 3, Aaron Johnston. Stopped by the Wreckers, number 43, Caden Wilson. First down and 10 for the Eagles.
Ball is snapped, and again, Johnson, the whole line drives him forward, and he gains another 6. If they keep riding him here, Jeff, I think that might be enough to get him to the end.
Well, we all know that he is the Mr. Touchdown so far this year. So hopefully they can get him moving. They're getting him some holes, and he's able to pick up some yardage. Just keep doing that.
And what this does here, too, is it opens up the basket. Like taking shots to flying Luke Antonio. So they keep pounding the wall away here up the middle, forcing the safeties to play up. They have a chance to take one deep over the top of the hill. Three receivers to the far side. Wing back is Ben Carley on the front side. Ball's handed up to Johnson. Again, he looks up the middle, and he gains another 4 yards there. Be close to a first down. And man, I think this is fourth down territory.
I would think so. You're nearly in the red zone. You're down 13-0. I would 100% agree with that. Trying to throw the team off with that direct snap because you're not going to expect that. So if you're able to beat the other team by a good second or so, it's going to give you that advantage. And I see Ben Carley's grandfather, Seth, walking through the bleachers. He needs to get back to his seat because we're about to score a touchdown, and we know he's the man with the siren.
Pushing forward, and they're able to catch him. Gain him about 6 here again. So on this big crucial drive here for Trumbull as they must get on the scoreboard.
Obviously the most successful drive they've had in the game so far. They finally got the running game going. They've had some good passing plays as well. This you would think is they need to score to stay in this game. Yeah, the Dow marker is right at the front marker of the chains.
Weave his way forward. He's got enough for first down. He's first and goal here. First and goal from the 4.
And they would use him in that wildcat formation. It's not exactly a wildcat, but the direct snaps are reminiscent of that.
Outside. Oh, nice tackle there by Staples. He almost had it there, Jeff. Close.
That was, what, about 4 or 5 plays in a row, most of them direct snaps to Rowan. You don't want to do it too many times in a row because they're going to start figuring it out and start defending against that. Hunter made his way all the way back to the sides to talk to Coach P and Coach Moore.
Ball is snapped directly to Johnson again, who fires up, he dives, and he's in. First score of the night for Trumbull. It's number 16 on the year for Rowan Johnson.
I'm waiting for the cannon to go off. I haven't heard the cannon yet. I'm sure you can all hear you can all hear the siren from Mr. Carley. And the siren.
Hi, this is Coach McFarland. You're listening to 10, the Trumbull Eagle Network.
The possibility of lung cancer can be pretty scary, especially if you're one of approximately 8 million current or former smokers at high risk. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know that now there's a breakthrough low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early, and it only takes 60 seconds. You stop smoking, now start screening. For an easy quiz to see if you're eligible, visit SaveByTheScan.org. It could save your life. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
Trumbull Touchdown Club is the nonprofit booster club that supports and enhances all levels of the Trumbull High School football program. Current football families and alumni are encouraged and invited to join, get involved, and support the team. Membership starts at just $60 per year. Contact the Eagles at administrator@trumbullfootball.com for more information. The Trumbull Touchdown Club is a 501c3 nonprofit organization. All membership fees and donations are tax deductible.
For those fortunate enough to help the person who has always been their hero, AARP is here to help. Find the care guides you need to help at aarp.org/caregiving. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Back here at McDougal Stadium, off the Trumbull touchdown, so Staples' lead is now cut to 13-7, 7:23 remaining until the half. So Sawyer, that was a pretty successful drive. Some good passing, a lot of good running on that. We have a competitive game again, which is what we expected. Trumbull's defense needs to step up here and make sure that they don't let him take that 2-touchdown lead back.
Really, if you're on offense, if you can run the ball the way Trumbull just did, it's going to be a very long night. It's going to be an excellent job there. You really force the ball down the throat of Staples. Rowan Johnson, excellent job finding good things to score on it. So like to see them doing that method here. Perhaps doing both deep shots here going forward to save those safeties. Wallace kicked deep by Zazzle, returning by number 6 for Staples, and he has a lane. Nice job there by number 21 in Trumbull, saving the touchdown.
Down to about the 35-yard line for Staples. He had a bit of a hole up the middle, but Trumbull was able to eventually close that up and bring him down before he did too much damage. Staples looking to their sideline, waiting for their play.
And he's tackled quickly. Nice job there for number 4.
That was a quick pass, and as soon as the pass was made, there wasn't much of a, it looked almost like a screen pass, but there was no block set up for him. And as soon as the ball was thrown that way, about 3 or 4 Trumbull defenders came in to close it up.
Essentially a run play, screen out to the outside receiver, hoping the defense is playing off enough for him to take a tackle before. Matthew the target not allowed. Near side, Wallace up the middle, and he's tackled immediately there. Nice job by the Trumbull D line. Leading the way with the 85 Will Zazzle on the tackle. Number 70, Lucas Silent. My favorite D lineman here for Trumbull. Nice stop.
If they can stop them, they have half a field to play with. No.
Big stop there for Trumble's defense. With 6:06 left, they have plenty of time now on offense to make a move here and try to keep the lead or at least tie it up going into the half. That would be big considering the start they had so far.
Trumbull's returner is at his own 30, so pick up a good couple yards. You could have a short field. I will try.
Excellent job on the block there. He's, on that air of his chinny chin chin, avoid it. Nice job there by West.
That was an interesting punt. I don't think he intended it for it to go so sky high, more north-south than picking up yardage. And it was spinning so much even when it hit the ground, bounced backwards a good couple of yards. By the way, we are on TCTV and 920 WLN along with the 10 Network. I'll finish my thought in a moment after this next play. My purpose of saying that was we have radio listeners, we have television listeners, so we give all the details for the benefit of those listening so that way they can follow what's going on. People watching on TV are probably thinking, okay, I can see that he did that, but we have radio listeners too. We want to make sure that we can paint the full picture for them. It looked like, was that Zay Richardson? I don't know if that was him. It was a little slow getting up, got a little nervous for a moment, but he popped right back up and he's ready to go. Yeah.
Pancake on that play. Serve up maple syrup there. Job by West. So third and about 5 here. Big third down here for Trumbull. I don't know, Jeff, if it's four down territory yet, but 3 receivers to the far side, 1 in the air. So the Glory, the lone receiver to the near side. Dusty blitz showing, and it looks like they're not going to give it to him. Hard count. And it looks like they're going to change the play of the line. They're trying to get him to jump. They almost did. Stable showing blitz. Ball is snap, quick throw out to Parley, makes the catch on this one, and he bulldozes his way forward there, Jeff. Here's your chance. What do you call him?
He is the Bendozer. The initial contact was made behind the yard to gain, and he was able to bounce off and pick up a little bit more. Or no, is he? Let's see where they're marking him. We thought he was ahead of it. Let's see where the side judge places the box. Yeah. Oh, they're measuring. Yep.
Close if nothing else, folks. Within a yard or two that's in these packed stadium here tonight, Jeff. I'd say it was standing room only now so far.
On the home side, it absolutely is more than standing room only. There is not an empty seat to be found on the home side of McDougal Stadium. Decent showing on the visitor side. We know that we have a full-size bleacher on the visitor side, so it's a little hard to judge because we have so much seating on the other side.
Eagles carry number 3, Rowan Johnston. Checkers tackle number 52, Andrew Rossman. 2nd down and 5.
While they were setting that up, Sawyer, we have a new member joining us on the 10 Network, Sean Rabinowitz. And Sean Rabinowitz, if you don't know who he is essentially the godfather of the Trumbull Eagle Network. It was his original alumni donation that got us going. So, Sean, welcome to the 10 Network. We appreciate what you have done for us.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me out here. And I'm so happy that Trumbull High School people who don't live in town like myself can listen to this on the road. So this is my first time seeing it, so this is absolutely fantastic.
There he is, Jeff. First handoff there to John Hall. The other running back here, Trumbull, and he's able to get his way forward there for a first down.
So the drive continues. 2:48 remaining until the half. Again, 13-7. Staples up, but Trumbull is driving for that tying, if not go-ahead, touchdown.
2:38 left in second quarter. So sticking with the heavy set now that they're close to the red zone. More from last game. Looks like John Hall's running here in the backfield. More of a heavy set. Bruiser back as opposed to the quicker style of running there for Lawrence. Ball is snapped, and it's fumbled on the snap. Picked up by Augusti. Can he make up for what he lost? And he's going to get close. Nice job there. So if you're going to be in the backfield there, can't do that. Can't miss the snap.
He made me a little nervous. He was holding the football out away from his body. I wish I could scream down, pull it in, tuck it in.
And Augusti's able to make it. Would have been a total disaster for the offense. And a loss of about one.
And I got to say, guys, it's great to see them running some smashed out football. 11 guys in the box and who's bigger up front.
Here's the part that one there, John Hall in the backfield. Ball is handed off to Hall. He looks for a hole and he finds it. Drives forward and again, heavy run there. Gains back when he lost and then some. So it'll be third and about 5 here. Big third down for Trumbull.
So third and medium, manageable distance to get the first down to keep the drive going.
You have to imagine, Jeff, it must be 4 down for sure. It's a little too far for field goal.
Oh, I would totally agree.
Ball is snapped, fumbled snap, fires out. Miscommunication there. Boy, and they get the flag. Looks like Staples pushed from behind the receiver for 14. Ligori will draw the flag, and Trumbull catches it right there as the ball fumble snap again. And it looks like Trumbull's going to get a first down on that play as a result.
Hunter tried to just get rid of it. It was a little bit of a floater, but as the receiver was going to try and get it, he like hit a brick wall. The defender was just there and pushed him, so clearly interference. A minute 20 remaining.
That penalty will bring the ball down to the 10-yard line. First down and
And go ahead.
Handoff is to Johnson. He fires forward. He's close. Trumbull sideline saying a touchdown, not quite. And he's brought down to the 1-yard line, it looks like. So nice job there by Johnson on the run, down to the 1.
And Trumbull's going to obviously wants to punch it in. You don't want to give it back to Staples with too much time as well. It looks like Staples has 2 timeouts left. So Trumbull needs to punch it in, but let's take our sweet time doing it. Yeah, 39 seconds to go. You got all 3 timeouts remaining. This is a touchdown you absolutely need to have. Talk it over. Make sure you know exactly what the play is. So Coach P and Coach Moore out there, Coach McFarland as well, out there talking with the players, making sure they have their game plan ready to go.
And I'll tell you what here, guys. If they're able to score this drive, I give the play of the drive for Hunter Augusta and the fumble snap, picking that up. It turns into what would have been a disaster for them. Loss of one is huge. That just shows the senior leadership there and tells you why he's one of those players just for a play like that. It wasn't flashy, you know, Adam Cooper doing the play, but his leadership, his ability to handle pressure, to work that person on that, it's huge for him. Here we go. First and goal. Sorry, second and goal. Second and goal. At the 2-yard line. And whistle is blown. We got timeout Staples. And timeout Staples, they do their best. They're trying to hold off this second half play here for Trumbull.
They must, obviously, they didn't like the setup they were seeing, because on the other side of it, if Trumbull punches it in on this next play, you'd want those 2 timeouts in your pocket to try to make something happen. But now you're down to just 1, yeah.
So far, Trumbull's negative set formation has been successful. Very few negative plays besides the whole snap there.
Sean, as we were coming in, did you think you took a route a little too far south with all the cowboy hats and the kids coming in? It's just the theme the Black Hole wanted to go with this week. Doesn't that look amazing? Yeah, if you haven't been here, there's a new McDougal Stadium, home of the Eagles. When you walk into the stadium, that looks absolutely incredible.
Up the middle. He pushes. Second effort. Is it enough?
No sign yet. No, I think they're marking him short.
I thought he did too. They hit him on the first play. On the first hit, he had him stopped. Then he reached over with the ball. They didn't give it to him. I guess he said the momentum was stopped. So it'll be third down.
18 seconds.
Good timeout here.
Yep.
Think about it again. I didn't like that call, though, guys. I thought he was definitely over. The first initial contact did stop him short of the goal line, but then he reached over the ball afterwards. I guess that caused him to stop. Not a good call.
This is obviously 4-down territory, and as the clock was ticking, you want to eat up some of those seconds so Staples can't get the ball left with too much time. But when it was tick, tick, ticking, you didn't want to run out of time either.
That being said, you also imagine there's different safe formation being set. You know, like I said, though, Jeff, in the back pocket, I have to imagine a little play action or a waggle play with tight end on the jump, something like that, because, you know, Trump's different set up for the run here. This is you trust your quarterback receiver to make that connection.
That's absolutely spot on, especially for me.
And here comes Staples back out onto the field. Trumbull finishing up their huddle.
Johnson and Augusta are back for Black and Farley on the right. And off to Johnson again. He fires up, and he's got to be in now, guys. And he is. Touchdown Trumbull, and they tie it up here with 14 seconds left in the second quarter. I tell you what, guys, what a comeback there. After a tough start for Trumbull, they're able to bring it back in again. Again, it goes off. The siren goes away. Brings back that massive game to the beginning of the year. I think it was a great test for them to start the season, having to come back as well the way they did, and it plays for them tonight. Ball snap, kick us up, and Zaslow gives Trumbull their first win of the night, 14-13 in favor of Trumbull. 14 seconds left in the game.
All right, why don't we stay here during this particular break so we can chat with Sean a little bit, if we can hear him over the siren. But Sean, again, we want to thank you. Your original donation, what was it? Is this 4 years ago? This is our fourth year doing 10. Was what got this going. We are so happy that we're able to bring these games to everybody. Teaming up with TCTV, they have been absolutely amazing bringing the video feed for us. And then after we started doing these games, a radio station out of New York, 920 WON The Apple, contacted us saying, hey, we want to pick up some of your games as well, so we get to enjoy presenting to their listeners also. So, yeah.
I couldn't stand up.
We like to think of ourselves, Sawyer and I, as the new wave Madden and Summerall.
Smart move, and Muffed on the turn there for Staples. It's like Will Zaslow the fourth there, somehow pulling back in towards him. They're able to get on it, so with 11 seconds left, I'd have to imagine it's a Hail Mary or it's a knee.
For those people listening on either 10 or 920, picture in a cartoon with a character trying to pick up a hot potato. That's what it was like with the player, just not able to grab the ball. So, yep, 11 seconds left, just as Sawyer said a moment ago. Staples has the ball at about their 31. Again, 11 seconds until half. Trumbull's going to definitely be bringing the defenders back.
Staples looks like they're going to go for a deep shot here. They're not saying die, so Trumbull got to be careful now. Laterals are also playing this play like this, so very, very dangerous. And also, do not get him a penalty that will give him a chance. You got to make tackles. Got to make a tackle. Ball is snap, quick pass out, and it looks like it will go for tackle him in bounds. That'll be huge. Unable to. 3 seconds left, so it's 50 yards. It's about a 50-yard shot in the end. We want to make that.
The buzzer just went to 0, but he was clearly out before it hit 0. They're going to put at least 2 seconds, 3 seconds on the clock. Little home field advantage. And Trumbull had 3 down linemen before everybody back on the previous play. So the ball's on their own 49-yard line. All the Trumbull defenders are back.
Quick screen out, and it's incomplete. So Trumbull catches the break there. Not that Staples would have gotten out there, but still, way to play. And Trumbull will take the sideline here, and 2 o'clock, 14-13. Huge comeback here in the first half here, guys.
Yeah, so after, I don't know if I want to say disastrous, but a not so hot first quarter, being down 13-0 on mostly mistakes, Trumbull is able to come back, and it didn't even take, having to capitalize on mistakes. It was good offensive plays, moving the ball down the field, in the air, huge on the ground, allowing them to get back in this game. I think when we come back in the second half, it's going to be a heck of a lot different than the first half.
Exactly, I agree with you 100% there, Jeff. It's just the mistakes on special teams what started them slow, but Trumbull able to keep the fight in, really run the ball on the ground, controlling the clock, getting.
Recycling is important. No one wants plastic in the ocean. Here's a cool way to repurpose a plastic bottle. Build an awesome terrarium. Cut a large plastic bottle in half and fill the base with sand, pebbles, potting soil, and your favorite plant. I chose an African violet. Put the top of the bottle over your base and place it in the sun. Your plant will grow sealed in its own ecosystem. Fun, right? Learn more at She Can STEM. A message from the Ad Council.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have arrived in Philadelphia. Local time is 3:05 p.m. and the temperature is 67 degrees. At this time, you are now free to use your cellular devices.
You know that feeling when you get to turn your phone on after the plane lands? You can have that feeling every time you drive. Make sure your cell phone is stowed away whenever you are behind the wheel.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Papa, why can't we telegraph while riding a horse?
Son, there ain't no one to blame but Jeffro. He was riding old Betsy the Slave, tip-tapping away at his telegraph. Bam! Ran right into the side of the saloon.
Well, if Jeffro can't do it, neither should you. Don't text and drive.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Hi, everyone. Al Roker here. As a guy with his own catchphrase, I appreciate that after 75 years, Smokey's only said,
Only meant wildfires.
But I'm filling in because there's a lot
insurance paperwork.
Yeah, I can do this.
You go, Karen! By simply understanding and updating what her insurance covers and doesn't cover now, she'll be better prepared no matter when disaster strikes. Learn other simple ways to protect your home and family before a natural disaster at ready.gov. That's ready.gov. A message from FEMA and the Ad Council. To protect his home and family from disaster, Steve used courage, wisdom, and his camera phone.
That should do it.
Way to go, Steve! By simply taking digital pictures of his family's important documents, Steve can always have them stored safely online, no matter when disaster strikes. Learn other simple ways. When disaster strikes, learn other simple ways to protect.
Mom. And about those gold earrings.
No, ma'am.
Now more than ever, it's important that we protect our hearts and the hearts of those we love. Monitor your blood pressure daily and help each other stay motivated. Rally your squad to take the online pledge at releasethepressure.org. Brought to you by the Release the Pressure Coalition and the Ad Council.
Dolls. We're fortunate that our daughters have what they need to grow and learn, but that isn't the case for nearly 13 million kids in the U.S. that struggle with hunger.
Childhood hunger is a heartbreaking reality that Feeding America is working to change. Each year, the Feeding America network of food banks rescues billions of pounds of good food that would have gone to waste and provides it to families and children in need.
You can help kids in need in your community by visiting feedingamerica.org.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
I would say after that second quarter, the momentum is definitely in the Eagles' favor. Let's see if it carries over into the second half. Good stop by the Eagles. I would think Staples is going to punt, but yes, they are definitely in punting formation. So Trumbull, good defensive stop, forcing Staples to punt the ball back to them. Trumbull's going to get their first offensive drive of the second half. Up by 1 point. Again, if you're just joining us, Trumbull was down 13-0. And Sawyer, what was that? In about the first 7-8 minutes or so of the first quarter, they went down by that many points and then came roaring back in the second quarter.
by the records number 49, Michael Neely. Gain of 2, second down and 8. Eagles screen pass complete to number 5, Luca Antonio. From number 2, Hunter Augusti. Knocked out of bounds by the records.
The Eagles tried to set up that screen. They had a few blockers out, but the Staples defender was able to get right past them and bring him down before he was able to pick up any good yardage.
On the 29-yard line, third down and 3rd. Eagles hand off up to middle number 3, Warren Johnson. Stop by the records number 49, Michael Neely. Gain of 7 on the run, second down and 3.
So just as we were saying, this was a successful drive. They were eating time off the clock. Exactly what type of drive you wanted it to be. And they are calling it for... So just as we were saying, this was a successful drive. They were eating time off the clock. Exactly what type of drive. Good defensive stop by the Eagles to bring up second and very long. About 6 minutes to go here in the third quarter.
A tackle, and Staples is going to run their way into the end zone for a touchdown. Soft coverage there by the safety from Trumbull.
Two-point conversion is good. Pass to number 1, Tyler Clark. From number 10, Caleb Smith. 5:34 remaining in the
All right, why don't we take a quick break? We'll be back here on 10 TCTV and 920 WON momentarily.
Hello, this is Coach Tobish.
I got 3 ideas. Ben Carley, Ben Carley, Ben Carley. Put the ball in the big guy's hands. They have.
On the return for the Eagles, number 30, Colin Van Beaver.
On him, like totally right on top of him, and he kept his eyes on the ball the whole time, brings it in. It was close to maybe even being interference, but he just kept his eyes on the ball the whole time and was able to bring that down. Amazing grab.
Up the field, and he's tackled down for a gain of about 10. Trumbull getting in the red on the first and goal situation here, Jeff, as they fight their way through.
And this Coach P was talking about.
Second down and goal to go from the 4.
Second goal from the 4. Johnson adjusts to the backfield. It's Carl back in quarterback fullback position. Ball snapped directly to Johnson. Looks for a hole. And he finds the edge. And he's in for the touchdown as Trumbull strikes back after the big score by Staples, bringing them within 1. Score now 20-21 in favor of Staples. Trumbull's extra point.
And Trumbull comes roaring back after giving up the touchdown that put Staples ahead. And on that drive, some huge passing and running, good mix of offensive plays there. I like the play calling by Coach Moore.
You now, and AARP is here to help. Find the care guides you need to help, complete with tips and resources at aarp.org/caregiving. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
And the Wrestlers will begin this drive from their own 25-yard line.
Trumble's defense needs to respond now. Really keep momentum for their offense. Two receivers to the far side. Bring back time. Snap. Quarterback draw up the middle. He looks for some space, and it's Will Zaslow there. The stop.
Playground break play at the middle by the Wrestlers, number 10, Caleb Smith.
And as soon as he met the Staples runner, as soon as he met the Trumbull defenders, his momentum was stopped instantaneously.
Second down and 7.
Second and 7 here.
False start. Was that the right tackle, I think?
Finds a sideline, and he's down the field, and he scores. So Staples responds on the jet sweep to the outside for the score. Score now 27-21 in favor of Staples.
Jordan Black got a good read on that as he came in to try to make the stop. He just got pancaked by a Staples blocker, sent him to the ground, and that was the key that allowed the runner to get around the corner and all the way down to the end zone for the touchdown. Yes.
the point is good. Number 87, Jack McCall. 1:16 remaining in the third quarter.
Hi, this is Gary Kunchef, Daniels Farm Elementary School Principal, and you're listening to 10, the Trumbull Eagle Network. Go Eagles!
Melissa from Michigan. I work an extra part-time job serving lunch at my child's school, but I still can't afford to put food on our table.
Daniel from California. Choosing whether to pay the rent or pay to fix the car to get to work doesn't leave us with much at all. Now we can't even pay for meals.
Hunger is
On the return for the Eagles, number 30, Colin Van Beaver.
So Trumbull's going to have about 7 yards or so to go down. And
Principal Rickert, principal of Hillcrest Middle. You are listening to 10, the Trumbull Eagles Network.
It's a good question. I'm not sure. You don't want to give them the ball back in such a short field, and then you really put yourself in trouble. Momentum to fall forward and pick up an extra good yard on that.
On the carry, number 3, roll 3 to go for the Eagles.
Don't want to jinx it, but now they got the momentum moving. They're moving the ball successfully, mostly on the ground. We want to see a couple more, get some passes in there as well. You can't keep doing the same thing over and over again. Very tight on the receivers as well. Big 4 down.
Ball is snap, handoff is Johnson. He looks for a lane. He's close, Jeff. I don't think he got it. He didn't. He's short. And Trumble's defense will take the field.
I was surprised they didn't put the ball in the air on that one. I mean, yes, they had some success, not some success. They have had success running the ball, but 6 yards on 4th down, that's asking a lot. And we all know Coach P wants to win this game. He was the head coach of Staples for 25 years before coming over to Trumbull. There are 2 receivers to the right side right now for Staples. They're talking it over. Only one of them is covered. The slot receiver is very open. Very.
On the carry for the Rangers, number 10, Caleb Smith.
Oh, no, they got it, Jeff. They got it. First down. Clock continues to run 5.
They'll spot the ball through
That was a heartbreaker because now they can run off a couple more minutes.
Clock continues to tick. Trumbull does have 3 timeouts, though. Oh, I'm sorry, no. No, I'm sorry. Quarterback moves to the left, looking for some space, and he's tackled hard. That's number 9, Jordan Black. Brings him down. Clock continues to tick. There's a short game here. As we're down to 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Snap. Right back to pass. Fires up quickly. Has an open man. And he's pushed out of bounds. Does stop the clock. It's now 4th down.
Rangers pass complete to number 1, Tyler Dart to number 10, Caleb Smith.
3rd and about 2.
Maybe even a little bit less. Yeah. And we've said this a couple times already. Huge 3rd down for Trumbull. I would think it's a 4-down territory, though, for Staples. Absolutely. You're going to, instead of pinning them back closer to the goal line. But if I was Staples, I would definitely go for it here. I'm hoping Trumbull obviously gets the stop. But if I was Staples, I would go for this in this situation right now. I would go for it.
Game on the defensive shoulders here. Can they stop them? 3:30 left. 4th and 1. Watch the ball, of course. Wallace snap, QE draw. And I think they stopped him, Jeff. It's going to be close, but I think they stopped him.
Yeah, looking where the side judge is coming running in, I don't think they got it.
I don't think so either. I think it's at least a yard short. Where is he in the market?
Waiting on the decision.
Well short, but we're going to see where they play, where the marker comes out.
Yeah, he's a good yard short. So it's going to be about 2nd and 3, 2nd and 4. 2:40 remaining.
Gussie gets a snap, runs back to pass, fires out, finds the Corey, makes the catch, and he pushes. The clock continues to tick. Staples trying to pull that ball out. And flag is thrown on the late hit. And that there is going to push him back even further, so Trumbull's going to get a chance to gain more yards on that. At about the 1st down marker, 2:14 left. There's our guy there, Jeff. Gussie to Carly.
That's right. What did I say? Put it in the hands of the Bendozer.
And that'll put it down to about the 16-yard line of Staples.
And it looks like there's a Staples player. Yep, player down. So why don't we take a quick break? We'll let the trainers tend to him. We'll be back here momentarily on the Trumbull Eagle Network, TCTV, and 920 WON, The Apple.
Seconds, she turned herself into a great mathematician. She masqueraded as a regular person at work, but as a superhero at home. Everyone knows her as Gabriella. I still call her Mom.
Your hero needs you now, and AARP is here to help. Find the care guides you need to help, complete with tips and resources at aarp.org/caregiving. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
First and 10, ball to 16. Gussie drives back to pass. Fires out. Looks for Johnson. Ball is in front of him. Incomplete. He second down now. 2:09 left in the game.
He was nearly able to scoop that up. So it'll bring 2nd and 10. Ball is on the 15-yard line. Trumbull knocking on the door to put the game-tying score in the end zone. I was thinking about that. Oh, I don't have the guts to make that call just yet. Let's get it in the end zone first. They've been moving the ball very nicely on this drive.
Johnson makes the catch, dives for the end zone, and he's in. Touchdown, Trumbull. And with that, they bring the score within 27-28 in favor of Staples.
It looked like when he brought in the ball, like he almost was losing his balance, almost went out of bounds, but he was able to get control. He was wide open. Some defender did not pick him up, and he was able to get the ball, get his balance, get control, stay in bounds, and just dive across and get that score. So we have 2 minutes and 1 second remaining in the game. Trumbull down 28-27 with the point after coming up. That is a gutsy call by Coach P. All right, Coach Sawyer, would you go for the 2 if you were in this situation?
Well, the way they moved the ball so well on that heavy set with Rowan Johnson, I as much as I trust Will Zaza with the kick, I just think if you have Rowan Johnson in the backfield, that's your best bet to score, and with that, you go up 1. I just like the aggressive nature here. You got to take a risk sometimes, and I like that call to go for it.
I like the call being aggressive. I'd just be nervous about not making it, but thinking of it this way, if you want to show that you are a playoff contender, you have the ability to be a champion. Champions take those types of risks and do that, and I think that's what the thinking is. Sometimes you can't play it conservative all the time. All right, so they're talking it over. Coach P was out there. Coach Wojtek was out there as well.
And it looks like they are going to go for it here, folks. 2:01 left. 3 timeouts, so, you know, Trumbull has a chance to stop the clock, too.
Ah, my knees are shaking, Sawyer.
Ball is snapped to Johnson. Looks for a hole. Fires up the middle. And he got it. Trumbull takes the lead. 29-28. And it paid off, Jeff. It paid off. Johnson able to get his way into the end zone for the score.
I think that is one of the gutsiest calls I think Coach Petrossi has called in his 5 years that he's been here, going for that. I wonder if the fact that they were playing Staples was part of it, you know, the motivation going to get the win. But either way, huge gutsy call pays off. But there's still 2 minutes and 1 second remaining in this game, and Trumbull needs to stop them. The defense has given up some big plays in the last couple minutes. They're going to really need to step this up. You know what I'm even thinking, too? Remember when it was 4th down and short, 4th down and whatever it was, and they were almost going for the kick, and Hunter came running to the side, waving his arms, going, no, we're going for this.
Josh Allen, if you watched the NFL, had a saying last week. He says, he had his OC, he was all upset. You know, he said, you want to see a loser? Show me guys who came with losing, I'll show you a loser. We don't want to be losers here. So that was a heck of a job there on offense for Trumbull.
And let's see if we do another squib kick again by Will Zaslow.
And it is. Squib kick up the middle. Recovered cleanly, though, by Staples in this one. They'll take over on their own 35.
And he just scooped it up off the ground on his knees, pretty much thinking, I'm going to take this down. Trumbull's playoff lives, or at least their seeding, could be resting on this drive. This is kind of like the end of the Massa game. The nerves are up for me.
Pressure, and he's brought down. Big stop there by the Trumbull D line. Clock continues to tick. 1:45 left. Third and long here. Big third down here for Trumbull.
Huge third down for Trumbull now to try to stop this.
Give Warren Little the sack there. Excellent job there. Getting in on the tackle.
Staples coming quickly back up to the line.
Here's the near side, one to the far. Ball is snapped. Looking to pass. Steps up. Has time. Has an open receiver, and it's caught. He's down the sideline. And again, Staples able to respond in a heartbreaking fashion as they score. 1:12 left in the game.
They nearly had the quarterback sacked again, and he was able to escape, find the receiver with some great blocking in front of him to keep the defender away from him, and he just goes around the outside again and scores.
Seconds left against Massick. We got minute 12 left here against Staples with 3 timeouts, so it's not over yet. But you see now as Staples calls a timeout, they're looking to go for it as well. Score now 29-34 in favor of Staples. Again, just tough break there for the Staples. We're not supposed to be up there.
So interesting to see if what the play call is going to be here from Staples. Trumbull's going to get the ball back with a minute 12 left. Very reminiscent of the Massick game. Coach McCray out with the defense right now, putting their scheme together. And the players making their way back out. Staples definitely going for it on 2 now. So 1 minute, 12 seconds remaining. Well, Sawyer, Hunter did it a couple weeks ago in Monroe, the Miracle in Monroe. Do the Eagles have the magic to do it once again? Well, I don't know. The Miracle in McDougal, I kind of dubbed that when Newtown won their state championship here a couple of years ago. That one got national attention.
They've already earned that moniker. Listen, it's not too late. 3 timeouts. Veteran quarterback in the game. Johnson's been unstoppable so far. They did go to him out of the backfield that touchdown before on the wheel route. They may go to him again. We'll have to see. They have plenty of time.
Now, Sawyer, let me remind you, a year ago, Trumbull was driving for, I think it was the winning touchdown here for the tying touchdown, well, unless they go for 2, against Staples. And remember what happened with about 17 seconds left. They gave up the pick 6, which lost the game. So just like a year ago, they have the ball left with about a minute left to try to drive down the field. Last year, they weren't able to make it happen. Let's see if this year can be any different. St. Joe's up 17-7 over Danbury. Interesting to see what Staples does if they're going to kick it deep, do a squib. As we all remember, that's what Masick very surprisingly did on that last drive. Yeah. Let's see what Hunter and the offense have in store. You know what I'm going to say. Let's put it in the hands of the Bendozer.
So Auguste for a chance to get a second comeback win in the season. Here's the far side, one in the air. Johnson is that running back. 3 timeouts here for Trumbull. Ball is snapped. Johnson. Auguste will cover. Ooh, miscommunication there on the first down play.
Trumbull does have 3 timeouts. Exactly 1 minute on the clock. And you just mix it in. It doesn't have to be entirely on the ground. They have the ability to mix the runs in.
Fires it deep, looking for Johnson. Incomplete. Dangerous throws, a little underthrown. Looking for Johnson deep. Incomplete. It'll be third down, 3rd and 10.
It was nearly picked off. I think the Staples defender had a better shot of catching the ball than the Trumbull receiver, which was that number 3, Rowan Johnston.
Staples did cover it. Safety help over the top. And that stopped him there, so it'll now be 3rd down, 3rd and 10.
Now, this is definitely 4-down territory, so you don't have to get the first down on this exact play here. This is obviously 4-down territory.
Carlin with the catch and a first down. The clock stops them with the chains. They're within striking distance now.
45 seconds.
Ball is snapped to Gossi. Rolls to his right, looks to throw, has time, fires deep, looking for Antonio, and it's incomplete. Oh, a little contact there, Jeff. No flag thrown.
Surprisingly, yes. That one was nearly picked off as well.
Ball is at the 4-yard line of Staples. Second down and 10 for the Eagles. Second and 10. 33 seconds left in the game. Still 3 timeouts for Trumbull. They haven't had a call one yet. Gussie gets a snap back up, pass it to throw. Fires out, finds Antonio, who's got to get down or get out of bounds. First down play, 25 seconds left. And they'll call a timeout here in Trumbull with 24 seconds left in the first down play. Ball now at the 33-yard line.
Well, he was over the first down marker, and then his momentum went forward, and then he came back, but they are giving him the first down. So 24 seconds on the clock. Trumbull called a timeout. They have 2 remaining in their pocket. Down 36-29. Again, 24 seconds. Jeff Alterman, Sawyer Nicholas on the Trumbull Eagle Network, TCTV, and 920 WON The Apple. And while we're in a timeout, I see down below Dr. Oberhand, who was our sponsor of the Trumbull Student Black Hole T-shirt night last week. We appreciate his continuous sponsorship. He has been so generous to the program over the years. All right, Sawyer, a couple weeks ago I said to you, I hope you know CPR because I might be having some heart palpitations here, just like we did at Masick.
Intercepted there. Oh, I don't know. Maybe not. They're going to say out of bounds. It was close.
I don't see a signal yet. The head official's making his way over to talk to the others. Absolutely. And remember how last year, so the game is going to end the same way it ended last year.
Talked about it for a moment. It was kind of disputed. He caught it right by the sideline. Couldn't tell from where we were standing if it was caught in bounds or out of bounds, but they give it to him in bounds. And Staples comes away with the victory tonight.
And just like 1 year ago, they lost on the interception on the potential winning drive. History has repeated itself again. Coach Petrosio is all the way out to the middle of the field right now to talk to the officials to find out what's going on. He at least wants an explanation.
Oh, wait, no, Staples now, 17 seconds left in the game, so Staples still has to take it. The game is not over yet. The interception does stand.
So Coach Petrosio, the Trumbull head football coach, who was the head football coach for the team on the other side, Staples, for 25 years, has had some big signature wins, just can't beat his alma mater. Well, not his alma mater. His alma mater's Trumbull. Hasn't been able to beat his old school yet. Yep. And it looks like we had the last knee. And that's going to seal it. 3, 2, 1. And the game is in the books. So Sawyer, a heartbreaking game. I think it comes down to just that first quarter, those couple mistakes at the beginning. If they didn't give up both of those touchdowns, even just didn't give up one of those touchdowns, it would be a different story. So it was the early mistakes that cost them the game. They had some good defensive stops even in the second half, but a couple mistakes here and there allowed some plays that should have been gains of 5-10 yards to turn into 50, 60-yard touchdowns.
Stop when they needed to tonight. They did a great job on first and second down, third downs. Those really got them. And, soft coverage or poor tackling or whatever it was, Staples able to come away with some big plays here. There's some great things there by Trumbull, too. I mean, the offense played fantastic.